NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to review the Season 2 of Black Summer. After our most recent finishing of the reactions, it's time to look back at the season and discuss how it went. What are our thoughts?
Yeah, so we loved it,
Absolutely.
as you guys know. I'd say one of the biggest kind of little disappointments was not being able to see the group in between when we saw them together kind of in that town, you know what I'm saying? So the months that, for the months after Season 1 to the events leading up to when we first saw them in the town.
After the stadium.
It would have been cool to see that because you could kind of see during Spears' final moments when he was talking with Anna, they had a pretty good connection because he was like, you know, that's why I always fuck with you because you're always at the ready. So it's, you hear the dialogue, but you can't really reflect back to it because you didn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, and that would have been really cool to actually see all of them working together, traveling together up until we saw them finally on screen. But that was kind of like one of my only little minor disappointments with the season is not being able to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I agree. But, you know, the biggest shock was Lance for me.
Lance was huge.
I mean, right out the gate. The fact that they
Episode
did that,
1.
like, right out the gate. Episode 1, like, in the first few minutes.
First few minutes.
That was insane. I actually liked that. How you know, we jumped into just a shock and awe moment right away. And
it was huge.
You got to wonder, you know, next seasons to come if they're going to do something like that right away.
Yeah. Well, you were also mentioning, I think you said Lucas, but I think his name was Luke. But yeah, we were wondering, like, you were wondering if we're going to see Luke, you know, but it was implied that zombified Lance broke through the window and probably just killed him, you know?
I don't know.
Because that story, in a sense, the Luke character story kind of a sense ended right there. I'm not sure what else they could have done with him. But
I would not be shocked if he shows up.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, if next season he shows up and it's just, I don't know, a side story of him, not necessarily joining the group or something, but just a side story character, chapter or something like that.
I really, really enjoyed seeing the progression of Rose throughout this season.
It was
like
huge.
The way that she carries herself, the leadership role that she, you know, just has, that skill. It's amazing.
Yeah, she, you know, with some of the comments, you know, a lot of people, you know, they love Rose, and you could tell her personality changed from Season 2. She was more agile. She made quicker decisions. You wouldn't say she was really paranoid. It's just she's always at the ready. Both her and Anna were always at the ready. And, you know, when she was explaining to Spears that, you know, I'm not the same woman as I used to be. Anna is my only reason for living, and I will do anything and everything to keep her safe. And yeah, it was kind of hard to hear her say F everyone else after all they went through, but you got it. It's just she's completely different now. Her focus is Anna and surviving, making sure Anna survives. She will die if she has to, but her decision-making was just quick, on point.
I was upset to see her, you know, that kind of view of F everything except for my daughter to Spears.
Correct.
Like everyone else, I would have, you know, but to Spears, God, man,
He was the one who helped
I
you.
liked that dynamic between her and him, that mutual respect, and you know, who knows what else it you know, there's no time for any feelings, and I think that's pretty much what Rose was trying to get through. Is I have one concern, that's my daughter. Everything else is a bystander.
What I thought was really cool, and I'm not, and we're just talking about it now, so I'm not sure if you picked up on it, but the Last Supper, the dinner, and even the dessert, I think that was Rose's way of pretty much giving respect to Spears and apologizing.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, she was sitting there, they were just having this staring contest because she was really wondering if Spears was, how pissed he was, if he was going to do anything. But for her making the dessert, so to speak, she knew he was dying. She could probably tell. And for her to kind of saying, you know, I made dessert and continuing on with the dinner, I think that was in a way a form of respect, a form of saying, I'm sorry. You know, even though I can't say it because I'm a different person now, I'm not going to apologize. Here is my apology for
well, and I think that showed too after after she had shown how pissed she was that Anna did what she did.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just got a feeling like Rose wanted more time with Spears.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it. I mean, she was pissed that Anna did that, and maybe she thought Spears was going to pull it out.
Right. Yeah, it was really interesting that Anna did not explain the full magnitude of the whole interaction.
Yeah.
You know, to Rose and of course to Boone, she just executed him because she was like, "You're dying. Boom, I'm going to kill you." To Rose, she was just like, "What the hell?" And when they were walking to the on the airstrip, she was kind of explaining it, but she didn't explain that whole situation. And Rose was pissed about it. So, yeah, I think Rose probably wanted a little more time, or maybe she thought he could pull through, or maybe the lodge had medical supplies they just hadn't got to yet, and maybe
it would have been nice
him,
to see him pull through, but we didn't know the extent of the wound, and obviously it was bad. But
it was infected.
That was a tough blow. I really wanted Spears to continue. Like I wanted to see him, progress through the show, but it's a zombie show.
It's just like The Walking Dead. You lose characters that it just happens.
We lost a couple good ones this season. Yeah. The officer.
Oh, Officer Nalziri.
Yeah.
He was awesome. I really enjoyed his story. I mean, his family was killed. He was a changed man, and honestly, I don't know if I'd really categorize him as a villain.
I'm gonna say no. I really am.
He was just a very hard-nosed protagonist who had a vision of.
Could you make an argument that he's the same as Rose, pretty much,
much,
without a child?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna do what he has to do to survive, and I think that's what it comes down to. And it'll be really interesting to see him and Rose.
If he survives, but
I think he survives.
Yeah.
I think that I see that relationship progressing. Not in romantic or anything.
Right.
Just, he's going to be a part of their group, I think.
I think probably at the end, when they were pointing their weapons at each other, he saw that, Anna came back for her mother. And
probably saw his daughter and wife in that.
Exactly.
Right?
He, when she pulled the car up, he finally let his gun down, and he was like, all right. I think maybe in his mind he finally got it. He was like, okay, these two are strong, capable women. What if this was my wife and daughter, blah blah blah. But yeah, I didn't see him as a villain. He was basically the same as Rose. He took some brutal steps. Rose did too, but he was just trying to survive and get to the supplies and get to the plane.
Well, just look at his last statement to Rose.
Yeah. His speech, his
yeah,
monologue.
I mean, he said that we could have all shared this.
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe the moment for him where he may have realized that maybe he made some mistakes along the way. Because look, he wasn't innocent and all that. You were pointing the gun at them, telling we could have shared all this, but you could have as well. So
right.
I mean,
you got too greedy. You were trying to give more stuff for yourself, not looking at others, even though he was he told the one guy, I'm going to take what I want and you get the scraps. You know what I mean? So he was kind of doing the same thing, but I loved how it all ties together though.
Yeah, the way that they did this season, jumping back and forth, the different timelines.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
It was awesome because we missed, for a while. You guys were mentioning in the comments, and we were like, okay, we have to pay attention to characters because we're seeing them in the past. We're seeing them in the future. Then we jump to the past, like the guy who was running away from his best friend who got shot by Rose
in the ambulance. I
mean, those were those two guys, and we completely forgot about.
I think
that.
I called you later that night after we had watched the episode and was like, dude, that's the guy that's running, to the fence.
Yeah.
Just so cool how they did that.
Cool. And then the guy who was tied up on the tree was the guy that we met in the house, and we completely forgot that. You guys told us in the comments. I was like, holy crap, that is.
Yeah.
He's not surviving.
Boone. Let's talk about some of the secondary characters that showed up. Boone, that dude. I feel sorry for him.
I do
because it's like he's off in his own world,
but he wants to help.
Yeah,
he wants to help, and he seems to be trusting. He's very trusting. and he got in different situations. Rose could have
Doesn't
killed
come
him.
off to be trusting.
He doesn't come off to be trusting, but I mean, Rose could have almost killed him. He did get killed by the guys who brought him to the airfield, and it's just sad that he wasn't able to fulfill what he wanted to do, was to get on the plane himself.
Yeah.
And he was trying to help other people get there, and it cost him his life. So,
Breathwaite?
Braithwaite. Yeah. I think that was definitely real.
You think so?
That was definitely
Yeah.
real. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't at this point.
I mean, if they brought him back for season 3, it would probably, I don't know, he'd probably be like a minor, just a chapter for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to go off in his separate ways, of course, but
Very cool character.
very cool.
Yeah.
It was really geared towards Spears, and making Spears realize that everything he'd done in the past doesn't mean anything. Well, I mean, it does, but you need to forgive yourself.
That character was solely used to give background on Spears.
Oh, for sure.
And I loved it.
Yeah, and the money. We finally realized why those military guys wanted that money.
And I think that, outside of little James checking the names, obviously killing people, he wasn't the bad character, I think. Well, maybe he was, but
but I don't know how it ties into those military guys.
Exactly.
Were they ex-police officers who then joined the military, and then at the fall they remembered, let's go get Big James'
or military that was housed in his general vicinity,
area,
so they knew his activity.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know how it ties to those guys, but either way.
So I think talking about where the show is going to go for season 3 ties into the last scene, one of the last scenes, and that is Sun and the pilot.
Yeah, Sun was she is an amazing character.
Yeah.
It brings you true to life what would really happen, where a person who does not speak English trying to communicate with others. I mean, it would be tough. I mean, with other people, you can kind of understand kind of what they're trying to say, even though you can't understand the words. But I love that Sun finally was able to speak. Finally had someone who understood.
That was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, and
absolutely beautiful.
The pilot seems to be, and I think is, a legitimately nice, caring person.
Because why would he do that? Like you
why
said.
would he drop supplies? Yeah. I don't know about dropping the guns. I think that
that's a little.
I think in your mind you're probably thinking, okay, I'm going to drop them so they can use them to protect themselves.
Right.
But you're, I think, causing more chaos.
You're causing a lot of chaos. Yeah. Yeah. It's and that's the question: is where is it coming from? And because they had a set schedule of when they drop supplies, of when he would routinely come to the airstrip to pick people up. So he had to have been doing this maybe either ever since the fall, or it's only been a few months, guys, so it's not that long.
Well, he said that they're very far away, so far away that they have to refuel. Now that's crazy, for one, and two, my second question is, do you think season 3 is going to be surrounded around Rose and crew trying to get back to Sun and find the pilot,
right,
or wherever they're from?
And yeah, that's the thing, is like, with Anna, we don't know if she's, because what I got at the end was, kind of jumping back to the end, Anna is actually, we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I mean, it depends on how far away they are. I mean, that type of plane, I don't know how far that plane could go on the full tank of fuel. I have no idea. If you guys know that type of plane,
refuel.
Let us know. They have to refuel. Are they going south? Because Boone was telling them we're going to go someplace always sunny. Well, it's always sunny anywhere, but are you talking warmer climate?
I think that's what he meant.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So further south, where are you going to go? God, they were up in. We don't know exactly.
We don't know
where
they're
in
at.
the United States they are. They did all their shooting in Canada, but we don't know where they are. So let's just assume they are in the United States, and
let's say they're in
north. Close to the border of Canada.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to go to Texas or New Mexico, or trying to get to Mexico or something, or Florida or something like that. So, or California, who knows? But yeah, and that kind of goes back to the end of the season where, Anna, I think, she came back. She didn't want to leave her mother. She saw her mother was alive, and it almost seemed like she was going to drive off, because in a sense she knew that her mother could take care of herself.
Yeah.
Like her mother was fine. We don't know if she did drive off, but then it's like, well, where are you going to go? Yes, you need food, but just stay around the area for the next time the plane comes. But I don't know how long that is.
Yeah. Would it come back?
That's true. Like, is that his last
After,
trip?
well, not to mention after he's seen how overrun it was.
Yeah.
I mean, there were multiple walkers,
Oh, I know.
zombies coming
Yeah.
at him, and
That's true.
maybe he abandons that runway. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I definitely think that Rose is going to stay with Anna, officer possibly, and I think the goal for next season will be in some way incorporated getting south or getting to a better climate, because I think they've realized where they're at is not sustainable.
Yeah. And I wonder if maybe Sun helps to try to orchestrate, the pilot to go back. She says, I want to get, because at first she asked, like, well, what about the others? And he was kind of like, we kind of have to move on for right now. We have to get to this point. And she was okay with it because, she's safe and secure. But I wonder if she, because of a good heart that she has, and all the stuff that she went through with them, if she's like, we got to try to go back and get them. We just have to. So Sun was an amazing character. We really loved her, and we hope that they do bring her back too, the actress, for season 3 if they get confirmed. But Anna was I think that's the last character. Anna, we didn't get much from her, but when we did, you saw a girl who was always at the ready, who, in a sense, lost faith for humanity. She's seen the brutality in human beings already, and she was close with Spears, close with Sun and Rose, and
but we also saw some mental instability from her too.
Yeah,
very very paranoid, and that might have been lack of sleep. Screaming silently at her reflection. That just yells at me like something's wrong with her that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, she wanted to vent. She wanted to get her frustrations, her fear, knowing not to scream.
Yeah.
Doing it silently. I mean, you see people do that all the time. You're just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But doing it to that extent, she was...
It's almost like she needed Spears to still be around.
Yeah. Yeah, you could tell when she was losing him that, you didn't really see her cry much until Spears. Mm-hmm. She was afraid at times, but she didn't really show that type of emotion until she had to kill Spears. And I think that she knew that, everything that he said, was true, and she kind of lost faith in humanity. She's losing faith in humanity, so to speak.
Just look at her comment. I think it was her that said, "I'm not going to sit here and rot away like Dad."
Her dad,
yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I mean, she had to sit there and watch that happen, and that's.
But she knew about it, which we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know that she knew her dad was bit. Yeah, because we didn't see that part because we jumped right in season 1. So, guys, this show, we really appreciate you guys checking out the reactions and videos, and definitely recommending this to us, because I can't remember who mentioned it. I apologize, and what video it was, but somebody mentioned Black Summer, and I was like,
somebody
what is
at
this?
some point, and then I had decided, you know what, I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, you watched only a couple minutes,
minutes of the first one, and I'm like, okay, stop. let's actually do this
for sure. It was an amazing choice. So, we do have a trailer reaction coming up. You guys have been recommending Kingdom to us. I did mention that to Josh. It is a zombie type thriller in, like, I don't know, I can't remember, 13th or 14th century, like China or Japan. It is all subtitles, which is fine, but it's a zombie.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, is it a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they're on season 2. I think they're on season 2 right now. So we'll definitely do a trailer on that. Maybe we'll get into some other zombie stuff. I know you guys have mentioned Z Nation. Haven't decided yet if we're going to do that. We do like comedy type things, but I know the Z Nation has a lot more of the comedy in it. But we'll see. Have you seen... And these are kind of some older films, but I've heard they're really good. Have you seen 28 Days Later?
Yes, I have.
You have seen it?
It's good.
28 Weeks Later?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen those, but maybe we'll do reactions for them. It's probably been a long time since you've seen them.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, so we may do... I've heard
what
those
was the
are
one
really
in the mall, too? Is that Dawn of the Dead?
Ooh, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yes, I have.
Now, see, those comedy ones are good. That's Shaun of the Dead. That's awesome. And Zombieland, of course, so... All right, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for smashing the videos on season 1 and season 2. We thoroughly enjoyed Black Summer. We hope that we get season 3. I did hear that Jamie King recently did an interview, and she was talking that they have an idea of where they want to go for season 3. But of course, Netflix hasn't confirmed that they've picked it up yet, but I think they definitely will because it's getting a lot more hype.
It is.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much once again. Stay tuned for any news of season 3 that comes up soon. Stay tuned for some other zombie things that we may be throwing at you. And we'll see you guys later. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.